Hey, Gator Nation, welcome back to the Respect Our Decision podcast. It's December the 15th, and as always, this is your boy Hirsch, and with me is the man Mike.
What's going on?
And the hype man Wes.
What's good, Gator Nation?
Hey, Gator Nation, it's bowl week, and we got a lot to talk about between the bowl game and obvious recruiting news that went down today and during the last week. As always, guys, make sure you check us out wherever you get your podcast from. We're available wherever you might be. Also, check us out on the YouTube channel. We want to thank everybody for all the making last week's YouTube video our most successful to date. Guys, if you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe, like the video, drop us a comment, and hit that notification bell, man, for any time we drop new videos. And as always, guys, if you'd like to support us on Patreon, we appreciate it. We use every dollar we get from that to go back to the show. That's at Respect Our Decision on Patreon. We want to give a big shout out to Justin Martin for being a big contributor there on Patreon for us. Thank you, Justin. And as always, guys, big love to our new sponsor, All-Star Roofing. All-Star Roofing expert contractors can offer you a wide range of roofing services, including roof repair, gutter repair, and installation, and storm damage repair. Visit allstarsroofs.com. Enter code RESPECT100 and save yourself $500 off a new roof there. All right, guys. Gonna jump right into some recruiting news. It was supposed to be Pancake Day, but I'm going to Waffle House. I ain't having it. Samson Okunlola, of course, this evening, 5 o'clock, unless you're behind a rock somewhere and missed it, committed to the University of Miami, as probably expected by most anybody that's followed recruiting. Been a lean there. We gave it a swing, and we missed. At the end of the day, it's a miss. It still is a miss, no matter what happens. But we're gonna talk about it for a second. Mike, how you feeling about this whiff?
A lot of it, the full emotional roller coaster is going to depend on how we finish on a couple other things. But right now I'm pissed because you got him there multiple times. You got his family there multiple times. Period. He had a great time. Okay. And end of the day, it's a clear indicator you're not competing with the big boys. So I'll leave it short and sweet. And I'd say big boys in terms of NIL.
I got you. No arguments. Wes, how you feeling?
I can just piggyback on what Mike just said. I mean, if you followed our podcast, if not, I've been kind of hard on the offensive line, and we were able to flip Kearney, and we whiffed on Simmons, and we needed an elite offensive tackle. We look at our board and I know I think we're going to touch some stuff next week on signing day, so I won't go too in depth with that, but that's just it's upsetting, especially when you had the guy twice in like 3 weeks, and like Mike said, you had the whole family down there. We got to do better with closing with certain guys, especially elite guys. We got to do better in the area, and it was a big disappointment, especially when you had him a week before he committed, which was today.
Yeah. Real quick, Mike, I know you got something else you want to add, but I say it's a whiff, and it is. I mean, there's no way of spinning that. I know a lot of people will say, well, he was always expected to go to Miami, and that's true. But if you get involved and you put the time, the effort, the resources into it that we did, and you come up empty, it's a whiff. Now, I'm not saying it's necessarily a bad whiff, because apparently Miami gave him about 1 million more reasons to choose them than us. But at the end of the day, you took the time, you took the effort, you brought him, his family, you put them up for the weekend, and hey, had a great time, and you didn't get the prospect. And that's what this is. Billy Napier said it. It's talent acquisition business, and that was a talent missed. Mike, you got any more to add?
Yeah, just like I said, I'm going to reiterate a couple of things, but once again, it's a huge miss. It's a whiff, like it or not. This goes down to perception matters. Okay, Perkins, Cormani, now Samson. National stage, we didn't get him. Finished probably number 2 for him. Right? This is just, I mean, at what point are you gonna show you're ready to compete with the big boys in terms of not only recruiting but NIL as well. Until then, you're just middling in second tier status. I feel we've slowly climbed up, but I mean, maybe in 24 we can get to higher tier 2 or just tier 1. But I mean, I thought we did have a legitimate chance at this, but we just dropped the ball, didn't get the job done. So, but the problem is, in the day, once again, perception matters. Okay, we don't play Miami. The fans are.
Same points we made when Malik Bryant committed to Miami over us. The exact same points.
And I'm glad you said that. So we don't play Miami. I mean, we're playing in a few years, whatever. Okay. End of the day, that is now citizen. Even though there's some different circumstances behind that. End of the day, Billy did want him. Okay, and he went to UM. Jackson, which would have been a huge addition. That was a catastrophe how that was handled. Should have been a Florida Gator. Wanted to be a Florida Gator. Cormani, we all know that. Malik Bryant, some situation behind that. All right, and now Samson. Yes, we did get Rashada, probably the best, probably the most important one at it, arguably at least with him and Samson. He's a quarterback. However, once again, you have all those misses.
Let me throw this to you real quick.
Cool.
Let me throw this to you. We got Rashada, yes, but how much did it hurt us in the long run not getting him off the rip as opposed to flipping him later?
That's a great, honestly, that's a great point. At the same time, you're losing it not only to a recruiting, it's not a true rival, but it is a recruiting rival. But it's going to a weak conference. They didn't make a bowl game. Awful season, and most likely will not have. If not
premier example that record does not matter in the first year.
Correct. I always said you can have you have to look competent. They didn't look competent. They had a Willie Taggart type season, and it honestly it just didn't matter. So they probably will. They may even get a new OC next year. They're probably going to have a new DC. And you're going to play in front of 47 people. So it's just once again, you're not losing to Georgias and Bamas with that. Those are
Let me ask you guys this question.
Go ahead.
Everything on that.
I don't disagree with you on any partially on, but to play devil's advocate, when fans, and including you just said, when we lost Citizen and Jackson and Rashada early and all these, and then you brought up Rashada, we've also won our share of battles, and people don't like to, or they forget about Gene, and they forget about Dijon Johnson, and they forget about those guys that we did win in those in battles against Miami. Now, when it comes to, and I agree with you, we got to get the top 50 guys, we got to get the 5 stars. When it comes to Malik Bryant, and when it comes to Samson, we got to get those guys. The most important player that you said, and that's why I agree, we were able to flip Jaden back to us, but we did win our share of some of those battles. Where people forget about that when they think about the misses. Always the negative things is what people like to harp on, and I just want to bring that part to people as well to let the fans know we got Gene, we got Dijon Johnson,
and you're right. But here's what Mike said, and Mike, I'll get this one real quick. To what Mike said before you started, Wes. Perception is what matters in this instance. People don't see the perception of we got Andy Jean. Well, their perception is, Miami kicked him out of the class when they got there. Okay, we got Dijon Johnson. Well, he never even visited there. He came here. But I get what you're saying, and you're correct. But the perception is when we go head to head in a battle, we lose.
I'm actually, Wes, I'm very glad you said that. Those are phenomenal points, and that goes down to Dennison, Jackson. They really, really wanted Jackson. And
absolutely.
We took him, or we kept him, better yet. But it just went, once again, they got Cormani. You know what? I'll gladly trade Samson for Cormani, but guess what didn't happen? They got both.
And it's not like some of these kids, like they're not sitting down for an announcement like Dijon Johnson. I don't remember if he just put out an edit. That's not sitting down and choosing that Florida hat over that Miami hat. And that's the visual perception that sticks with people when that happens. Is they're like, oh, we got trolled in a recruiting announcement. He took our hat and threw it over to the side, or what, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the announcement may be, how it was handled, whatever. That's the perception in today's recruiting landscape that people come away with is we got trolled, or and that's what matters.
I
At
agree.
a certain point, Rashada, that was arguably, that national perspective, that was big. But once again, Perkins, Cormani, Samson, get it, to quote a wise man, get it done.
Yeah.
And Billy said from the outset, what was his biggest focus going to be in this class? The trenches.
It's the type. This the to echo you guys' point, because I don't disagree with what you guys were saying. I was just playing devil's advocate.
No, that was
absolutely. It's good. It's
point.
good. It's a good talking point. It's 100% a good talking point.
We got to get more top end guys, and I said we'll talk about that when the class concludes. And I know it won't conclude next week, guys. I know there's another signing day in February, but we have to win more of those top end, those national, like Lagway, like you guys were just talking about. To see Lagway put our hat on ESPN was big stuff, and we need more of the big stuff.
And you can't sit back and say, well, if we don't get him in recruiting, we'll get him in the portal, because that ain't where you want to live.
And last thing on that, Hirsch and Wes, I'm glad you brought up Lagway. You can't, when people bring up, say, oh, well, listen, we just got Lagway, now y'all are bitching. Listen, it's just like I'm in sales, okay? It's what have you done for me lately? All right, I got a record month.
Janet said it best, baby.
Yeah, I got a record month in November. You know what my boss is gonna say? Cool.
What'd you do next month?
December. That's all that matters. What have you done for me lately? I'm happy that we got Lagway, but guess what? There's another player. Period.
All right. Well, that's all energy we're gonna put into this one for now. It's done. It's over. We move. Let's talk a little bit about some of the things that went down over the weekend and have progressed into the week. Starting with the good piece of news that came out of the weekend is that Florida was able to get their first guy out of the transfer portal, and that was defensive lineman Caleb Banks, a redshirt freshman from Louisville that comes over at 6'7", 300 pounds. Big body boy. Not the nose Mike's looking for, but another good big body defensive lineman to throw out there and get some reps and add to some depth for that defensive line, which we know has been lacking. So any thoughts on Caleb Banks between you guys?
This is your baby, Wes. You want to take it?
Nah, I'll let you go first. I might have to respond to some stuff you say.
In my content. No, I love the take. I love that. I love the size. He put on a lot. He's shown he has the ability to grow from his high school weight as well. He was comes from a program that produces a solid D lineman. Very competitive program at NC State, so they do have an eye for talent.
Louisville.
Oh, Louisville.
Yeah.
I'm out of control. I like their trenches as well. So my bad. I need some coffee. But end of the day, though, he has that Gerv build. It looks like they're starting to like it. Tall, lengthy, long arms. That's looking like a Kelby Collins or Jordan Hall, for example. So he falls into that category. But what I like the most is the 3 years eligibility. So it's, ideally you want a recruit, but this is the next best thing.
Wes, anything you want to add before we move on?
Yeah, good take, good size, big body. We need some guys there in the trenches when we look at the finality of this recruiting class, you want some guys that have already kind of been in the college atmosphere and able to maybe to contribute next year without forcing your freshmen to go out there and play. So because I think we lost a few kind of D tackles over the last week for the portal. So this was a good take with a big guy. So I'm looking forward to him hopefully being able to contribute next year.
Yeah, I like going out and getting a young guy that, like I said, redshirt freshman. We still get him for at least 2 years, probably 3. Just depend. We don't know what the kid's going to be yet. Played in 2 games last year, had a sack. Like Mike said, put on a lot of weight from when he came into college. He came in around 265, and he's already at 300. So I'm sure once the coaches get him on the workout plan and whatnot, he's got the frame, he's got the size. Let's see what he brings to the field and if he's coachable.
Yeah, and if I can get like an Adam Schuler type of, I'm seeing Adam Schuler type of production possibly out of him, and he's with that height, you're looking at your prototypical like guy that can line up think of it on a 3-man front, play the 3-tech or 5-tech, set that edge, which obviously was a huge issue with Florida. 6'7" provides that ability.
All right, guys, we're gonna move it on down, and we're gonna get Mike real passionate today. He hasn't really. Y'all thought he was excited a second ago. Let's talk about John Walker for a second. Boy, I feel like we've been talking about John Walker for a long time, and we have. John Walker official visited this last weekend. All the right things were said. Came off the visit, said he had a real hard decision to make, which was the first red flag to me. But and then as the last few days have kind of gone by, the excitement from the visit has waned, and less people that have heard about what's going on behind the scenes feel less and less confident in John Walker becoming a Gator. I don't have a good spin for this one because there isn't one, period. If the University of Florida misses on John Walker after his 5th visit or 4th, it may only be 4, but it feels like 5 or 6 at this point. We've already had the nose tackle conversation on this show every single week since we initiated the show.
Because we haven't had one, but yes.
Exactly. But anyway, I know it's coming. Just hold on a little longer for us. I got to set the table, man. This makes me, and I'm not trying to steal y'all's thunder about talking about it, but this makes me more frustrated than Okunlola. This recruitment particularly. And as we circle back around, I'm sure y'all are going to cover the points. I'll finish this off. But Wes, how you feel about this John Walker situation?
Brings up memories of Tim Smith.
Perfect analysis. Perfect example. Except we ain't losing to Bama.
I didn't get to that
example
part
from the player standpoint, position standpoint was perfect.
I think Tim Smith was 7 times.
Could have been. To
he
lose.
Had his own campus residence.
Obviously, you're dealing with a guy. In my opinion, this is my opinion, that wants to be a Florida Gator. He's looking for a reason for you to go ahead and say, "Hey, make me a Florida Gator." Any kid that visits that many times wants to be in your program. You got to close. And y'all know I've been on Mike and Mike been on me about the D-line, and I always said, "Hey, Mike, I got 2 guys left. I got Hall and I got Walker. If I close with them, I'm good. I'm Gucci." But you miss on Walker, and he's been here 5 times, and like you guys just said, you're not losing him to Bama. You're not losing him to Georgia. You're not losing him to Clemson. You're not losing him to Ohio State. You're losing him to the school down the road.
That shan't even be named.
They get no plug from me on here. None whatsoever. To me, that's troublesome because I feel like we need more D tackles. I'm not an apt to, as Mike loves the nose, because I don't feel like a true nose plays that many snaps. So I'm not like Mike is on it, but he's a special player too. That's the thing. He's not like anybody. To me, he's special, and you need that type of guy in your program. And this bothers me. So I'm down on it. I'm pissed off. I'm really, really pissed off. Y'all just don't know how bad I'm pissed off. I'm not going to use profanity, but I want to use profanity. That's how pissed off I am. And I'm gonna let Mike do his thing. I don't have any rebuttal. Anything he says is justified. That's how pissed off I am.
Ah, damn, that was just like B Rabbit taking the wind out of the sails of
anything he says is justified. That's where I'm at with Walker.
All right, Mike, top that.
Maybe for a mere mortal. Well, to quote a wise man, this really grinds my gears.
Eh.
And I'll curse. Fuck all this shit. If he doesn't pick us, fuck all this shit. All right. Bottom line is this. All right. Once again, it's not West. I'm going to reiterate a couple things, and I'll add my little tidbit as well. It's UCF. Okay. The bottom line, they dragged it on. He's been here 5 times, so a couple things. Why don't you cut it short? Okay. If you get outbid by UCF, this is gonna, and we're gonna talk about this at the very end. This is an institutional problem. This goes way higher up than Billy, because where are your funds? Because it's UCF. They're not putting $2 million. It's not Cormani money. You're losing a UCF. So apparently, like school, the mom okayed it. Apparently, the mom, hey, you know what? Run along. East Orlando sucks. All right, there's nothing over there. I've been in there. The 50,000 seat stadium, playing in the Big 12, so it's not even good competition. And so, at what point, good old, top recruiter in the country, Coach Chaos? No, it's Coach Spencer. Okay.
Oh.
Until he did it to himself. He's getting demoted. All right, and this is all pure freaking rumors. All right, just the fact that he isn't committed yet with his teammate who was there. Keep this in mind. A fellow Osceola Cowboy was there.
Good
all right?
point.
So why not? He likes to coach. The mom okayed it. That was supposed to be the only hindrance. The depth chart's there. So what is it? What you can't hypothetically? It's a couple hundred thousand NIL. Coach Spencer cannot convince an individual, hey, you know what? It's a better idea to come play in the best conference in America that produces the most NFL players, and you will get better. You have the best facilities. You have a better school. I mean, you just have a better part of school, yeah, but that's literally it because they let literally meth heads in. But that's neither here nor there because it's so easy to get into. But once again, you can't get John Walker. That is pathetic. Not to mention, we're trending away from Jordan Hall. This is horrible. But I guess Trent, listen, I'll wait. I'm not. I got a whole rant. If this goes awry, okay. But I was steadfast for Spencer for a reason, and West, you jumped in the deep end too early, bud. You jumped too early, and I stayed steady. We still don't have a nose. God forbid about that. I've given up. That's not going to happen. I don't think we don't recruit those anymore because I think the staff. No, Napier was like, you know what? I know you can't get that done, Spence. Stick to your Harley or your motorcycle. Go on a long ride. Go to Sturgis. Do something for yourself because you're not recruiting D linemen. All right, we're worried about the strong side defensive ends because I don't know if you've seen Kelby Collins. All right, he's not playing those. I love the kid, but he's not playing those. Maybe on a passing down a NASCAR package. That's about it. So God bless us. Hopefully hit the portal because we got no beef.
He never disappoints, ladies and gentlemen. Just when you think you know what he's going to say. Just when you think you've got the question, the answers figured out, Mike changes the questions. Whew. To quote the great Rowdy Roddy Piper. Hey guys, let's move on to the next recruit down the line. Running back Mark Fletcher visited this weekend as well. Everything was hunky-dory, rosy. Everything sounded great. People were predicting that Fletcher could commit pretty much at any time. Hey, guess what? Mark Fletcher's visiting Miami this weekend. Y'all feel confident?
I feel confident. End of the day, I'd still have had to bet money on there. I would still bet on the Florida Gators. However, end of the day, you're letting a legacy. Go, hey, take his last visit with the University of Miami. Great idea.
They won't show him a good time.
Great idea. What could go wrong? What happened last cycle? What could go wrong? Once again, though, those two classic example. Why aren't we getting kids to shut it down? You see, Miami is. They're awful. They have no leverage, and they were literally acting like they do. So, I like Billy. Okay, I have faith in him. I think the 24 class is going to be amazing, but hate to break it, hey, there's still this cycle. We kind of punted last cycle, which I was okay with. Get his guys. All right. Now, what the hell you doing this cycle, brother? At a certain point, like, you have to say, listen, if you go, we're not taking you. You like, it's a running back. You can have that leverage. But at what point are you? I got to censor myself a little bit. Are you essentially going to be pulling an alpha move? Like, listen, like Urban wouldn't let that happen. So and I like Billy, but at what point you got to ask yourself, is he a little too nice? Because I need a dick. I'm an asshole sometimes.
Whoa!
I hate to break it to you.
First off, there's not many coaches in the country that's coaching college football that you compare to Urban. So just get Urban his respect.
On a close?
Yeah.
Hugh Freeze? On a close?
I said there's not many. Maybe on one hand you can count.
All right,
that's that good.
Let's just get it back.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Like, yeah, if he's not Urban, a lot of coaches that coach now are not Urban. But to Mike's point, the fact that to me is important. We need a second back with Naquan and Lingard gone, and you got a guy that's close with one of the leaders in the class. Well, this needs to be shut down. You got a legacy going to Miami. And we and to the kind of another point you said, we've got guys to shut it down. We got Kelvin Collins to say, hey, I'm not going to Alabama.
Norman.
Chaos did that. He got from the state of he got Collins to say, hey, I'm not taking my official visit to Alabama. He didn't do it. That was so we've gotten I think we got Denson to do it.
But they were already committed. Those are already committed prospects. That's a whole different ball game.
I get what you guys are saying, but I just got to put that stuff out there because I don't want people to think that we're not able to hold on to guys. We're not able to win over guys. I get what you guys are saying, and I'm not taking anything away from you saying. I just want to give the whole generality of whatever that's going on. But the fact of the matter is we got to close. We got to get guys when they're on campus. How many times since you guys have been saying that, have we got anybody that's been on campus through Billy's tenure that's committed while they were on campus, or they do it a week later? Rhetorical. It's not a rhetorical question. I don't know.
Answer is yes. I'll give you there's a couple like secret visitors, but Malik Bryant visited one of the games I was at. And also,
I mean, like, who's visited?
Miami tackled one from Australia visited at one of the LSU game. I know for a fact. But no, he has had committed guys on campus. Yes.
No. That's not what I'm asking. I'm asking have we had, other than Caleb Banks, he did it. I mean, an uncommitted guy that came to town and committed while they were in town. Because that's a good point you guys bring up. Other than Caleb Banks this weekend, I don't think we have anybody that done that.
No, because generally the way it has panned out, and it still very much meshes though with what Mike's saying, is that hey, we're going home. I'm getting an edit made. I'm getting a video made, whatever it is. And then I commit in a day or two, that now, and some Billy planned that way. Like we know he did with, Jaden Robinson was a planned out commitment. He wanted to commit sooner. I mean, we have had a few, and I know Billy has staged a few off. But to your point, it is very rare for a kid to be just pop on a Sunday on his visit to Florida or when he gets to the house.
Temporarily, they're just having a little bit of lag. No, so just
I believe Mike's suffering the lag there.
Yeah, he's frozen.
Billy has had a couple. Oh, they're back.
Nope.
You're back.
You're back.
Okay. We were here. You were gone.
It's all good. It's all good.
You were spinning. I was there.
No. Anyway. All right. Let's move on and move on to the next prospect on the board because we're gonna go around to the same tree over and over here. Jaden Platt, tight end, currently committed to Stanford, came into town and apparently had a great visit. Was on crutches from a knee injury. I guess he's gotten in a game earlier, but they accommodated him. He had a great time. Took some great pictures sitting in the Lambeau. Now, he will be taking an official visit this weekend to Texas A&M. I know he made mention to the staff that he had already made some promises to Texas A&M. Apparently, they had a great visit. The word was they're going to go home and discuss it as a family. This is another one, though, that's perplexing to me. This kid is currently committed to Stanford. Obviously, education matters, and he's a smart kid. This is one of those where you're trying. I mean, if you're up against Texas A&M, well, you're committed to Stanford. You want a high education, academics. Hey, University of Florida, we like to push our top 5, public university and all that good stuff. This is another one that, to me, William Peagler, what do you do for a living? I need to know.
I mean, but that could be a staff philosophy. At a certain point, like we've heard stories. I committed because I think to Stephen Garcia. No, what's it? No, I forgot who it was. But the bottom line, he committed because they said, if you leave here, your offers are gone. So you got to put not every. You got to read the room, obviously.
Oh yeah, every prospect is different.
Like, listen. We're the only school that is like Stanford, period. If you want to go to A&M, that bleep show down there, Godspeed. I wish you the best. I respect it. But if you leave this campus, I wish you the best.
Yeah.
You have to do that sometimes.
And with that kid's parents there, I mean, to me, you're selling the parents. Obviously, they care about education. They came all the way across the country to go to visit University of Florida. Like I said, kids committed to Stanford. Obviously, like we said, he's a smart kid. Hey, man. Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Platt. Let me show you some of our education and how we stack up to Stanford. I mean, I know this is easy for me to sit here on this podcast and say, but I mean, we're just finding different reasons for every prospect to walk away and say, oh, well, you know what? I'm going to go check out some other options real quick, and then I'll be back. That's what I say when I'm at a store and somebody's trying to sell me something and I want to get away.
Yeah.
And there's certain kids you have to respect their timeline. Okay, and 100%. However, like maybe with Walker's, I got a timeline. Well, like it's gonna probably backfire. Okay, but end of the day though, we're at the point. Forget a timeline. All right, you gotta play your hand. You play what you think. The perception of your program. Okay, and some schools are doing it. Look, I mean, kudos to Miami for actually listen. They suck, but they're saying no. We are, they're not acting like they do. Okay, so you got to do a power move and be like, listen, go to the parents. Like, hey, I respect you. Want to go home and wait? If you want to, I get it. However, we don't have that ability. So if you would like,
we're up against it, man. We got a hard date here.
There's another kid coming. We're looking at him. Great, even if it's a lie. All right. So
got to put him in the same position we did to Will Norman at D tackle.
Yeah, I said that earlier. Absolutely. You want to go to Kentucky?
No, he's talking about when he committed. Hey, if you don't go ahead and commit now,
yeah,
your spot's going to get taken.
Good point.
I mean, we're looking at. I mean, before we weren't even looking at a tight end. Now we're looking for one. Hey, if you want in, come on in. I don't know. Maybe A&M's dropping a bag, but it doesn't seem to me like a kid that was necessarily looking for the financial part of it.
I think a lot of people need to realize, yes, the NIL is prevalent. But there's a lot.
But not every kid's getting.
There is. I know 1 5-star that he doesn't care about it. So there's a lot of kids that are like, they may take a couple bucks, or some kids that don't give a shit. So it's not exactly what you think.
All right. And as to wrap this up, 3-star, 4-star, wherever you're getting your ranking from on this one. Caden Jones was also in town. Caden had a great trip. Caden is supposed to be visiting Texas A&M. I do believe that he was told probably not to commit yet, or not given the green light. They probably were waiting to see. I mean, all word on the street is, like we said, they got a lot of good vibes when Samson was on campus. I think the staff believed they had gotten the job done. That's,
That's pathetic, by the way, we just said. Not from what you, but like what I'm sorry, from your quote with the staff.
No, I'm just saying that they thought they had got the job done. Well, I mean, the staff may have that, and they don't offer the money. At the end of the day, we were not going back to that argument. We'll cover that another time.
I'm
Caden Jones is probably a kid that could, we could call up maybe tomorrow and say, hey, you ready to be our offensive tackle in this class? Don't love it.
Maybe.
Better hope so, because if you let them go into Texas A&M, and I said this last week,
close to home.
I think you guys agree with me. I would have taken him with Samson because he has the frame
6'8"
of something that you can't teach and something that you can build on. So I was wanting him with Samson in the class, especially when we all know there's with our recruiting into 2023, there's nothing certain. So if there's nothing certain, you don't let that kid go to Texas A&M next week.
And I get the point about, well, he's a lesser rated prospect and all that. And I know a lot of people, I know a lot of people are going to be like, well, he's just a 3-star. Sometimes hey, say it over and over again. You get the right kid with the right coaches and you get Osiris Torrance. Is every kid Osiris Torrance? No, of course not. But there are plenty of 5-star offensive linemen that don't pan out either.
We had one that didn't even make it to the league.
But guess what? Guess what you can't coach? 3'8", 330 pounds.
6'8".
Huh?
You said 3'8", 6'8". Oh no,
Did I?
Yeah.
I was thinking 380 pounds. Apparently, I don't know.
Literally a ball. But no, he's that perfect type of prospect. You literally just put in a crock pot and let him simmer.
Yeah, put him in there 2 years behind somebody, coach him up. If somebody goes down hurt, you got a nice big-bodied kid to throw in there. Get him in the games late. I mean,
even if for like a year, like Stone. Remember we took Stone?
Yep.
Let him play you let him play 4 games next year.
I think this is a dangerous game of chicken you played with a kid. And hey, I know somebody will say it, and you're right. At the end of the day, that's the staff's call to make. The staff knows more than I do. You're 100% right, listener that says that and is thinking that. These are obviously just our opinions, but hey, if you get left holding the bag on 3-star Caden Jones, you've done some failures in recruiting. Speaking of 3 stars that didn't leave us holding the bag, as of yesterday, Tyree Patterson was removed from most all commitment lists across the board. No official notice was dropped by Tyree. Nothing was really said, but to that point, he was supposed to official visit last weekend, and either that visit was canceled by us or by him. Regardless, it doesn't matter. It's time to remove Tyree Patterson from this class. Been a real head scratcher from the beginning. Kind of glad that one's over with. Hey, good luck at UCF. Have fun down there with John Walker, apparently. So, guys, real quick before we move on, I know Mike said we were going to talk about it before we moved on from recruiting. If the numbers we've heard, and people have bandied about a lot of numbers about Samson Okunlola, what Florida was offering him. Obviously, we know Miami offered more. Are true. Where's that money going? What are we doing with it? I mean, we hear about all these kids. Okay, so-and-so's trending off now. He's trending back over here. Hall went to Georgia. No real, hot or cold off of that visit. Rick still has his LSU visit. There's a real chance we could be sitting here at the altar on a whole bunch of kids. At what point does this staff say, look, man, we got to blow one of these kids away for not only for the class, but perception? I mean, because in these situations, if here's who suffer, people that suffer in this instance, we strike out across the board. The collective suffers, and therefore our athletes suffer because people start canceling subscriptions and donations. Well, hell, if they're not going to get it done, why am I even giving the money? And that is the true perception is reality of this kind of subject in today's landscape. So, Mike, I know you want to hit on this, man. Talk a little bit about it.
Well, real quick, what you said about canceling and what, like I said, that goes to how ecstatic was everybody after Lagway. Okay.
Yeah, people were upping donations.
But what have you done for me lately? And you know what? They're right. That's not a bad way. It's a recruiting. Okay. You could have the number one class in the country. 3 years later, you're recruiting 45th. Who cares about that number one? Oh, you just had 45th class. That's not going to work. So the bottom line is I can't even blame someone for wanting to cancel if they see 5 whiffs because it hasn't been around long enough that, no, I can trust it. I trust it. But, at the end of the day, it's just, once again, Perkins, where did that money, I mean, I know where the money went, but in terms of players, in terms of big time prospects, did you see someone close to a 5-star? No. Okay. It's going to get reallocated to the transfer portal. I saw my D tackle, who was pennies compared to Perkins, saw him in Miami. So you can't if you got $1 million, that better be once again reallocated. All right. What's up with Quay Russo? He's got crystal ball from Woodfong took Bama. And that's a position of need because all we got is Powell. So and this is, I know, I'm praying I'm wrong on all of this. And we get it, and I have faith. However, it's not looking good right now. And recruiting is fluid as this with the Samson visit. So at the end of the day, hey, Scott Strickland, wake up.
Yeah, I'm not gonna ask people to do something that I'm not doing. I'm a Gator Collective member. I'm on there. There's 2 schools of thoughts. I don't disagree with anything Mike just said, but a lot of times people are like, I'm not giving it until I see things change.
And I think a lot of our boosters have that mindset.
And sometimes you have to be part of the change and that's with anything in life. Yeah, sometimes you have to do your part and then bring other people on to make that thing happen. So it's 2 schools of thought with that, and I can't blame you for either ways, but that's my counter to that. Sometimes you have to be a part of the solution before you can see other things change. To Mike's point, if we had this for Samson, did I need that money allocated to Rusau, Ricks, or John Hall? Nothing else needs to be said. You need to get Ricks, you need to get Rusau, or you need to get Hall. Some of that money needs to be allocated towards those players because if you have whatever for such player, then that needs to be allocated to other guys that you obviously want, Walker included. If you have, I'm pretty sure whatever you offered Walker was less than what you offered Samson. So if the gap between that, you need to fill in the blank, get your guys. So I mean that's why I'm with that as far as the NIL and allocating these funds towards different players. I know they have an amount. I think of it like a salary cap. I think each player is worth, if you basically you're a GM and you have your quarterbacks worth this, you have running backs worth this, you have your left tackles worth this, you have a corners worth this, receivers worth this. So maybe maybe we're balling on a budget. I don't know. So I just want to see what's going to happen with the allocation of these funds towards different players. So I don't know.
Yeah. And we're not going to hang on this too long because we're going to talk about it some more next week. I've never been one to tell somebody how to spend their money, how to use their money. People don't get money by throwing it away and being frivolous with it. Don't if you hear this, don't cancel your GC subscription just because we miss on some prospects. That's the wrong train of thought. But I mean, I understand your frustration. We feel the same way. But that's why we're talking about it like we are, is hey man, it would go a long way to say, you know what? We missed on Okunlola and we know we're going to miss on Walker. Let's go out today and close down Rick's or close down Hall. Hey, one thing we've always said is that Billy seems to learn from his mistakes and or misses and adjust. This is that. If you don't do that here, to me, that's not showing that growth, because you can't just go empty-handed down the stretch and be like, you know what, we'll get them next time, guys, because that ain't how this is going to work.
I'm not canceling my subscription, by the way. I'm still going to be a Gator Collective member, just FYI.
And apart from it, like I said, apart from the Gator Collective, you need this is once again. This is on Strickland.
Say it. I know where you're going.
No, I'm going to tell join, right? But no, you need big time boosters.
You need the bagmen. You need the boosters.
Who's paying these? Like we all know who's down south, down in Coral Gables, and it's more than one person, by the way. Okay, and so once again, I can't. It's not my job to tell people how to spend their money. You know whose job is? Scott Strickland, because right now Scott Strickland's public enemy number one. Period.
We need our
money.
We're gonna make a new hashtag here shortly if you don't hurry up.
I'm gonna get a hashtag.
We need our Fab Five. We need a Fab Five of 5 elite boosters.
It's gonna be SS got us here shortly.
No, I come on.
Hey,
I'm a little bit more creative.
That's a slogan I can get behind.
We gotta get Bateman out of town so we can get rid of the Bateman guy first. All right.
Isn't that how they do it?
Yeah. All right, guys. Real quick, little portal mania for you. We like to we want to keep talking about it, but as far as the portal goes right now, I don't think you're gonna see a whole lot going on in the portal until after obviously the bowl game is played this week. I think, given that the dead period for recruiting starts on the 19th, you'll start seeing portal visits hot and heavy probably next weekend and going forward, and we'll get a real good idea. I also know that the staff has got some kids that may be transferring after the bowl, entering the portal after the bowls, that they've probably got their eyes on as well. But here's the thing, going back to what we were just saying, though, we miss on some of these targets, man. We're going to have to get in the portal hard and heavy real quick, because we got needs. Mike knows. Mike's needs his nose. We're going to have to.
A boy can dream.
Apparently, there's a very large young man that's in the portal from the University of Memphis that we're taking a look at. Weighs about 340 pounds. And a few other guys, that names are flying around out there. We know we're going to go after quarterback, but kind of got the idea that, like we said last week, that maybe that quarterback isn't in the portal yet. Looks like we might be having a look for a tight end. We might be having a look for a running back, maybe, if Mr. Fletcher goes to Miami. We're going to have some needs, man. And we're going to know real quick as we start seeing these visits get announced about portal guys, where they're looking for specifically. So we will get more into that next week for sure.
Hey, and Hirsch?
Yes.
Yeah, just to go quickly on that, I'm going to run down some of the numbers. I think we need 2 receivers and 2 ready to make an impact. Personally, at least since we get Samson, 1 to 2. And then also we definitely need a jack because we have no experience behind Antoine Powell. 1 starting linebacker, 1 impact safety, and at least 1 additional defensive tackle, preferably a grad transfer.
You think we need 2 receivers?
Yes,
I do.
Absolutely.
To start?
Not necessarily. Maybe 1 starter and 1 body.
I said, and I need a caveat to that. So ready for impact players. Now you got to keep in mind, I don't care who the player. You can be number 1 player in the country. Not named Arch Manning. With the bottom line, I do not count true freshmen on my 2 deep. Period.
No, you can't.
If you do, your program's in trouble. If you have to rely,
I don't see Billy operating that way either.
You have to do that. Your program is not in good shape. So yeah, do we have talent at receiver? Sure. What have they done? Mize always 10 pounds. Cool. Can Eugene Wilson? Would I bet on him contributing? Yes. Am I going to count on him to go into Utah and get me 8 balls? Fuck no.
This man is hyped up tonight. Whew. Wes, anything you want to add on the portal before we head out west?
I need to take a bigger look at it. I agree with the too deep. You don't want to count on freshmen and you're too deep. I don't know if starter is. I don't know about starter because we can all agree that Hendo, Ricky are going to start next year. I'm just telling you that it's going to be.
I don't know Hindu.
No, do not put my name attach my name to Henderson. He's not good.
I'm just saying as far as if he doesn't start, that's why I said. Well, I'm looking at Ricky Henderson, and I'm a big Frazier's fan, so I like Frazier. Then you got Caleb Douglas who played last year, so we probably do.
Oh, well, okay. Would you agree? I like Caleb Douglas. Is he? Do you see him as an all SEC?
No, but he's too deep. You're coming about
the depth. Okay, yeah, I like Hendo for depth. I don't want him starting my football team. And that's a problem.
I gotta see. I mean, he was a freshman, so I don't know.
Henderson
wasn't last year.
He looked better
this season.
He looked better than which I was like. We were just talking about Henderson. He looked better than Henderson.
You're right. That's a problem.
I like.
Good.
I like Douglas and Frazier. I just say that. I like Douglas and Frazier.
Henderson, he's a jag. Hate to break it to you.
Guess what? And there's still something y'all aren't even taking into account.
By the way,
no certainty.
Another guy.
There's no certainty that all those guys are staying.
Yeah.
I mean, the bowl game could end Saturday, and
the most important guy is Ricky.
Absolutely.
And he's not. It's not concrete that he's staying.
And he's been hurt multiple times last season.
Yeah, we got to get a QB for him to stay.
I think Ricky's good, but anyway. All right, guys, it's bowl week, bowl game. Oh man, the last game of the season has finally arrived. Viva Las Vegas, baby. The Las Vegas Bowl. Mike, what do you got for us on the Oregon State Beavers?
Yeah, good old Beavs. All right, so they're currently sitting at 9-3 this season, heading into Saturday's matchup. Their head coach Jonathan Smith is currently in his 5th year as their head coach at his alma mater with a combined record of 25-31, and there's notable injuries at this time for them. So now, I'm a big Oregon State fan. They tend to pick it up in Corvallis, where they play, especially at night game. Just one of those places you don't want to go into. It's always dangerous, no matter what. So they beat Oregon this year, 38-34 in the last game of the season. They lost an extremely close game, screwed up one of my pick'ems because I actually picked them to win that game. I want to say with a Jordan Addison touchdown. But they lost to USC 17-14 September 24th. And they also lost to Utah 42-16 on October 1st. Now, for some notable players on the team, it's a little Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, but overall he's a good player. It's going to be Ben Gulbranson. He's 6-1 as a starter, so bottom line is a winner. He has thrown for 1,290 yards and 8 TDs versus 8 interceptions. But when he's off, he's extremely off. Now, running back, Darian Martinez, 970 yards on 158 carries and 7 touchdowns. So he's definitely a productive back. Now, and also you have wide receiver Trayshawn Harris. He's the leading receiver there with 52 receptions and 604 yards and 4 touchdowns. So nice, solid receiver there. Now, team stat with them. They Oregon State ranks 2nd in the Pac-12 in scoring defense at 21.4 points per game, and the rush defense is 114 yards a game. So that'd be a nice little matchup for us with the rush defense.
Yeah,
now, you want to take pardon?
Yeah, I was going to say real quick before we jumped off of that they're not a team that stands out statistically like that'll blow you away, but
absolutely.
But they play good team ball. They
just get it done. And now,
they do just the right things to play winning football. The things that we didn't do this season are the kind of things that they do.
And it's weird. It's a program thing. This has happened like 15 years. Like Corvallis at night. I don't know if you remember. I'm like, what time's the game?
Yeah, I remember.
And
I knew why you were asking.
because
the Beaver Den's a wild place, man.
just like NC State. NC State on a Thursday night. Remember back to Chuck, let's go back to Chuck Amato with the T-Max and those sunglasses.
Oh man.
Boston College on a Friday night. There's certain places you just don't want to play. And Corvallis is one of them. Obviously, we're not playing in Corvallis, but it's a steady, solid team. Yet unspectacular.
Yep. All right, guys, let's talk about the Gators for a second. There's not a whole lot out there. I do want to first give a big shout out to Osiris Torrance, consensus All-American. Way to go, young man. Enjoy all your the fruits of what you did going forward. Best of luck in the NFL. Can't wait for you to get your brick outside. Awesome job. Great. Now that what we've all been waiting for, baby, it's Miller time. God almighty. We never thought the day would come. Jack Miller will be the starting quarterback for the University of Florida.
He's from Arizona.
Oh boy. Well, he's close to home, man. Maybe he's excited.
Not great. Not great.
Look, hey, I need Jack Miller handing the ball off this week. But hey, maybe Jack Miller shows out, man. Maybe he's putting on a portal resume here.
No, I mean, and also honestly, this could be extremely beneficial based on his mindset. I don't know what his goals are at the end of the day. Best case scenario, he's okay with just being at Florida. Doesn't want to transfer again. I don't know. But best case scenario, we proved to have a competent backup next year. That could be huge.
Our starter.
No, I'm not. I don't live in a world where it rains, gumdrops, and unicorns run around the corner.
Not great, Bob.
That's called Candyland.
Other players of note, Gervon Dexter. Even though Gervon declared for the draft, Gervon is going to play this bowl game. Love that attitude. Somebody that won't be playing in the bowl game is Ventrell Miller. Obviously, Ventrell is going pro as well, but Ventrell is actually graduating and walking in his graduation that day. The bowl game fell on the same day, and I can't blame the young man for making that decision either. Meaningless bowl game or walking in your graduation for your family being there. I mean, you got to take that every day of the week.
Is Garage playing?
I believe he is. I'm sorry I left that one out. Yeah, I believe Garage is playing as of what I saw in the depth chart. He's on it.
Killing us, sir.
Huh?
Killing me.
And I believe Barber was listed as his backup. Injury report, just a few guys of note. Keon Zipperer is still out with the lower leg injury, so that did end up being a season-ending injury, even though we were told it wasn't. I mean, that could have been a coach speak trying to make people prepare. Coaches like to work that out. Trevez Johnson is out. Boo-hoo. Jadarius Perkins will start at the star position for this game. A couple other notables out. Jalen Farmer and Richie Leonard are also out.
Hey, really quick before we proceed, Countdown County legend Richie Leonard, no big deal. It's what we do. We produce players. But the bottom line, I think it's actually, I want him to, hopefully he 100% gets better and he'll be a great contributor next year. However, it's beneficial to the team that it does not play. And I say this because the big man, Cameron Waits, is going to be starting in his place, 6'8", 373 pounds. It's the one we transferred from Louisiana. Former basketball player, kid's massive, makes Ethan White look small. And if he can play at right guard, play well, it's going to be tremendous, provide tremendous flexibility for the O-line coaches because I need Kingsley out of my program. And Richie Leonard was brought in as a guard/center.
I get what you're saying. I'm following your track.
You like that? Because 6'8", that's extremely hard for leverage at that height inside. So that's why a lot of times you see him on the outside.
Yeah.
However, we do end of the day we do have, let alone the portal, we do have Tarquin, we do have Barber. So those can't be your tackles. You give me Waits, you have your left guard and Ethan White most likely. Leonard at center, a possible Waits at right guard if he kills it. There have been tall guards out there before, so it wouldn't be the first time, but we'll see.
All right, guys. Well, it's time for our final pick six of the season. Pick six, where we pick 3 things the Gators need to do to beat their opponent and 3 things they need to avoid versus their opponent to get the win. And as always, guys, the pick six is brought to you by our partner at Prize Picks. We are official partner with Prize Picks, guys. If you may are asking what is Prize Picks, well, Prize Picks is daily fantasy entry where you play against the projections that Prize Picks sets. You pick 2 to 5 players, and you simply pick whether they will score more or less points than what they're projected at. A prime example might be, hey, Miami heading up to Buffalo to take on the Bills this weekend. Will Tua have over or under 220 yards passing in a Snow Bowl?
Wish I knew.
I mean, hey, but that's how it rolls, guys. You pick 2 to 5, set up your own, parlays there, and just go over and under, man. You can get the big money whacked up there. So as always, guys, use code RESPECT100, and Prize Picks is going to match your first deposit up to $100. So if you enter $50, they're going to give you 50, 75. They're going to give you 75 right up to $100. Go out there, man. Make some money on us. Have at it. All right, guys. 3 things that the Gators need to do to beat Oregon State. Mike.
Quote a wise man. Run the damn ball.
That was me, I think.
I put in listen, I got a little MLA format. I cited my sources. But by the end of the day, no, just honestly run the ball. We have a quarterback from the state of Arizona under the playing with for us right now. So it's all hands on deck. I'll be saying my prayers, may go to mass that morning. So, just gotta, hold on. It'll be a bumpy ride.
That's what do the Gators need to do to beat the Beavers?
Stay ahead of the chains on offense. Kind of echoing what Mike was saying about running the ball. We have some guys out on the offensive
damn ball.
Huh?
Damn, run the damn.
Yeah, we kind of have some guys that are out on the offensive line, and plus we have some receivers out. So I don't want. I want to be. I don't care if we run it. I don't care if we throw screens. Just not wide receiver screens. I don't want to see any wide receiver screens. But I just want to stay in like 3rd and medium. If we can stay in 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, I feel okay on offense. As far as that, it's 3rd and 12. No false starts. Kingsley making your tackles look like they're doing all false starts. Get the ball back to the quarterback on time. No holding, none of that. Just let's stay ahead of the chains and in good situations on 3rd down, and I feel like we'll be fine. We have 2 elite bats back there.
Yeah, y'all like to always pick those. I like to kind of go off in my own direction with these, and this one's no different, man. I want to see these guys come together as a team. Like, a lot of kids are not going to play in this game that played in the game versus Florida State, or at least dressed out for the game versus Florida State. Going to be shorthanded at some positions. Going to be some kids dressed, and out there that and might get to play that haven't played all season for that matter. I want them to come together, man, have a good time. They're out in Vegas, man, playing in a bowl game. Don't go out there, go out there and just lay it out on the field, man. Last game of the season. Don't hold anything back, to quote Dan.
Last game of the season. Can't hold
anything back. All right, guys, 3 things the Gators need to avoid. Wes, what do the Gators need to avoid?
You said, what do we need to avoid?
Yeah, always.
Getting down early, because I feel like we don't have. I don't know anything about Miller as far as his capability of starting. We hadn't seen him all.
None of us do, Wes. We're all in a mystery.
We got to avoid getting down 10, 14, nothing where we have to pass. We need to keep it close so the run game can be effective. So we need to stay in arm's length, arm's reach of Oregon State, so that we can continue to lean on our run game. So we can continue to run the damn ball.
Mike.
Turn-
What do we need to
turnovers?
avoid?
I'd say it's going to be turnovers. They have definitely I'd say at least decent quarterback, slightly above average. Definitely have a running game. So they definitely an adequate receiver. So that means they can, if we turn the ball over, put them in a position to get easy points, and we're behind. The last thing in the world we want to have to do is pass the ball with a quarterback from the state of Arizona. We're not built to win that way. And I don't think there's enough prayers that can be said for us to win if that's the case. So just protect the ball. Just do what we did for 3/4 of the FSU game.
Mine is pretty simple, man. I just want these guys. I don't want to see these guys treating this game like it doesn't matter. I feel like if they come in with the attitude that we're just out here to play this bowl game, we got to play it. Man, I want to it goes back to what I said we need to do to win is we just need to play like we're having a good time and we want to win this ball game. I want to see solid efforts out of everybody and not just kind of going through the motions. So, all right, guys, impact players for the game. Mike.
ETN. Sorry, Wesley. He's a hot man.
He was gonna pick tight end group or something anyway. It's good.
I like that boarding game as my potential surprise. I'd love to see him. But anyways, the bottom line, Trevor Etienne, he's been killing it this year, and he may not be the workhorse, but he's the guy right now. He's hot.
Wes, who's your impact player for this game?
Miller, but not Ventrell.
Oh, the same guy I picked? Awesome.
Oh, you got Miller too? I apologize. I'll get off Miller. That's my fault. I didn't see it. So I had two guys. I apologize.
You didn't see it on the paper you're looking at right now?
No, I didn't. I actually hit too far down. I apologize, sir. I'm not going to go with Miller. I will go with Ricky. And the reason why I would go with Ricky is because there's a lot that we didn't like about, as far as me, I didn't like about our passing game, but we've had some guys open, and Mike has chronicled his accuracy. Mike has said, can I get 50% pass for completion percentage? So let's see if Miller is able to hit Ricky, because I want those third and mediums. So I'm hopefully that if Ricky can get open, I'm looking for, because he went off against Florida State early in the game, and then he kind of got lost in the shuffle. So I want to see if Ricky can be breakout. I don't know if he's going to return punts. We might need to score on special teams. So if Ricky can, Ricky can do something with return the ball as far as punting, I would love that too.
Yeah, since Wes took my thunder, yeah, man, I'm behind Jack Miller, man. It's Jack Miller time. I don't have the Arizona bias that Mike has. I don't have the confidence either, but hey, the guy's been waiting for his opportunity and now he's got it, man.
Hey, it's the last game of the season. Can't hold anything back now.
They can't hold anything back, Bob. All right, score prediction time. All right, Mike, what's the score prediction?
27-19. We're losing to Oregon to the Beavers. Corbels.
Man, he's saying we're gonna get pounded by the Beavers. My God. All right, I'm going 33-27 on the win. I had to let the hype man go last on the last score prediction of the season.
111-3 Gator win.
45-7. Nah, we're gonna win 25-22.
Yeah, if we give up 22 points, I'll probably have to wear Oregon's hat on this show next week. Anyway, all right, guys, that's it. That's the last game breakdown for the season. And now we're gonna hit it up. Our segment we love to do, man. We're pod of the people. # pod of the people. We like to be there to answer these questions week in and week out, man. It's kind of fun hearing what y'all like that y'all even care what our opinion is to begin with. So, Wes, what you got for us this week?
Yeah, we got two questions from the jump from Antonio Armstrong. His first question is, he says, I'm happy with the class, but it feels like when it gets to crunch time, we cannot close on high-end prospects. Any idea why? Is it money or what is it?
Go ahead, Mike. I know you're feeling that one today.
Yeah, no, it's good. I think it's a combination of the two, actually, because money does buy, and in recruiting, money can definitely buy happiness to a certain extent. However, at the same time, it's going to be how the coach handles the recruitment. A coach has the ability to he can maybe not force the player to shut it down, but he can get them, like, put them in a corner and, like, listen, yes or no, bro. That's it. I don't think that's Billy's his manner. He's obviously, he's Southern. He's very methodical. That's just he doesn't operate like that. Okay, and it may help us later on down the road. I'm not a fan of it. I'm a fan of the hard close. You got to do the takeaway. It's going to go to personality. We haven't had a coach with that type of intensity since Muschamp. Who was the best recruiter? Muschamp. So who recruited like that before him? Urban. So it's a type of personality. I don't think that's Billy's type of personality. However, I think that's and previously Mac is Mac and Mullins. So it is what it is, but the money talks, and that's why other people are shutting it down.
He nailed it.
All right. Second part of his question was, are you guys worried about Andy Jean visiting Florida State this weekend for an official visit?
No, he's going up for FAMU. And Tallahassee's amazing, the party. Tallahassee, baby. Woo.
Yeah, I've pretty much just been told that he's going to
the talent up there
to clap some cheeks.
Well, yeah. Let me tell you something. Hey, I'm a Gator, but I used to handle the FSU. I used to handle my company's account up for FSU.
All right, moving on. Jay Stubbins. His question is, who do you guys think should play more, the youngsters or the vets in the bowl game?
I don't think they have a choice.
The people who show up. Is that an answer?
No, and I'm not trying to be sarcastic in that answer, but I mean, I think you're going to have to see both play because that's how you're going to field a team that can give, when you've had 17, 18 kids leave since the end of the season. I mean,
but also I think a lot of people. All right, so and I don't blame anyone for having this initial thought. Hey, but the youngsters, I want to see the young kids. You got to remember at the same time, there's a lot of there's some people, this will be their last game of their entire career. So you're going to tell me hypothetically he's put his blood and sweat into the program for 4 or 5, bench for middle of 6 years.
That's a good point.
He isn't playing. Some of these walk-ons, they're like
you can speak to that about Gervon saying that he's going to decide to play.
No, exactly. So you're putting your blood and sweat into the program. These walk-ons. Pardon?
I was going to say, Mike, and it might not even be guys that are going to the next level. This might be some of these guys might be their final football game they ever played in their life.
I wasn't talking about Gerv.
Yeah, I knew where you were coming from.
I'm talking walk-ons, whatever. But these guys that are the special teamers, so on and so forth, they are going to be. They're good.
And you'll see some of these kids get carried, like the running backs. I know we have.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to the real world. All right, they're going to be accountants, real estate agents, so on and so forth. So that's
your boy.
I'm gonna play youngster. Yeah, give him some reps. Absolutely.
Your boy Engel might get a series out there at quarterback, I would assume.
Absolutely. So I mean, just to show thanks as well. Obviously you have to earn it. That's another thing. Just don't put them out there to put them out there. But at the same time, you want to see other kids develop. So there is a fine line. That's something you would have a discussion with your team beforehand. Like, hey guys, we are let the young guys get some reps. But I can pretty much guarantee that they are aware of their potential snap count.
All right. 2 questions left. The first one is from 3 questions. This is from Chris Sorley. Seems like every team is landing their kids out of the portal. Why is UF procrastinating? Very frustrating to watch because last year Napier didn't perform well in the portal.
They're not procrastinating. Like I said, the bowl game came at a very horrible time as far as recruiting goes. They're also not showing their hand on a lot of kids, I don't think, right now. Just because a kid enters the transfer portal and was a 4-star, 5-star coming out of high school doesn't mean they're viewed necessarily as a 4-star, 5-star now either. You got to keep that in mind. Some of these kids, there's a reason they're hitting the transfer portal. Some aren't scheme fits. I'll give you a prime example of that was Gene Bell, transferred from South Carolina, and it is going to Florida State. He's not really a scheme fit for what Billy wants to use at tight end. He's not. He probably would have been a receiver here instead of a tight end. So that's just, a lot of people, when he hit the portal, like, oh, Florida needs tight ends. They need to jump up after him. And some people were like, well, I don't think that's what Billy's looking for in a tight end. And just because us as fans see a guy enter the portal and be like, he'd be great on Florida, that doesn't mean Billy and the staff think that, or he fits the scheme. And then, therefore, you want to avoid what we had this year, is players that don't fit the scheme just being here because we needed warm bodies. Now, you got to get the right kids, and I think they're doing their due diligence on that.
And we did well in the portal, I'd say, last year.
Yeah, got an All-American, got our number 1 running back, got our number 1 receiver. Yeah, we did fairly well.
Yeah, somebody gotta ask them about that too.
I understand what that take is, because most people didn't think we took enough bodies, and I can understand that take as well.
I agree with that, because he said we're gonna go heavy on the portal. We didn't.
So I think they were caught in surprise about how many kids didn't enter the portal too.
And that's Daryl Jackson that we went on. So if we would have got him, I would have been happy. But this cycle has exorbitant amount of kids, a lot like from Bama,
and more coming.
Legitimate kids are out in the portal right now,
and more coming after the bowl games. Keep that in mind. It's going to be a lot more kids.
People are talking in the back channels. Is the bottom line.
This is from Ryan Parker. He says, "Does the Taviano commit to LSU affects Ricks at all?"
We'll see. You can't really answer that, because you don't know I don't know what Ricks is looking for as far as a depth chart for a school he goes to. He may have alpha males don't care.
Thank you.
Alpha players don't give a damn about the one player he would have mattered was Cormani, and he ain't going to LSU. So at the end of the day, no, I don't think it really makes a difference.
And that's that's not a competition thing. This is because he hates.
No, it's just because they don't like each other. But that's the one example of another alpha that he would have avoided. He may have avoided just because he didn't want to be anywhere near him.
Yeah, if you're a corner, especially when you can play 2, 3, 4, 5 corners on a field at the same time, you don't want to. And you're a 5-star. You don't want to go to because you're worried about competition. I don't want you.
All right, got last question. This is from Justin Wood. He asks good questions every week. He says, "What do you guys think we sign more than one linebacker on signing day? And who are we targeting in the portal as far as linebackers? And what does our recruiting mock class look like?" What do you think we finished? You can do the linebackers first.
Linebackers, I believe the only one we're going to really take in recruiting is Jaden Robinson. I do believe they'll go after a couple in the portal. I know the kid from Indiana was someone they looked at. The young man from the kid from Ohio State. I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank on his name because I don't have it right here in front of me. Who was like a 3 or 4 year transfer. Their hands are tied about going for the portal for linebackers. They're pretty much don't have a choice. I mean, we're going to get Jaden Robinson. That's a body. He's not going to be ready. I mean, he could play next year. He very well could play, but you're not counting on him.
Hope not.
No. So this is where you want to absolutely use the portal for what it's there for.
Do you guys agree that linebacker and not even starting and depth at linebacker is in the worst shape on the team?
Besides the nose.
No. No. Safety's worse.
I was going to say I don't think the safety position is better.
You have one person.
you have Kamari. At least at linebacker, you've got Scooby, you've got Stewart, Shamar James, you've got I know Mike's going to disagree, but Wingo's there. He has played.
He eats the team meals.
Yeah. He's going to start this bowl game.
Listen. No, I'm excited to see it.
Oh yeah. I mean, hey, it's a good preview. This is where you make your bones right here. Hey, coach, this is my position next year. Do you disagree?
He passed Scooby, right?
No, I'm talking about Wingo. Wingo started.
He passed.
Yes, he did. But this is the opportunity. Coach, you give me this opportunity. I'm not giving this position back. Now, he has to come in spring and fall and do the same. But this is where you start planting those seeds of this is my position.
Who's he starting with?
At linebacker?
Is Bernie going?
Bernie's playing.
So he's in front of Shamar too then.
It's a different position.
Different positions.
That goes different, but we're not going to get into depth on that right now. All I know is it's Wingo Bernie for the bowl game.
Gotcha.
And Scooby's behind Wingo, and I believe Shamar is behind Bernie.
I got you. So
I personally like two, but I've probably only seen them getting one in the portal.
We need to get a defensive leader. I feel like
I personally like if they're seeing what they look like already, looking at already. I think they're gonna go with somebody to battle out with Wingo. I hate it. I think that's exactly what they're gonna do.
As far as the mock class goes, brother, I couldn't even begin to tell you right now. Things are so up and down right now. I mean, it could be Caden Jones, Ricks, and Hall. It could be Caden Jones. It could be the guys that we got.
I'm gonna shoot these names at you, and you tell me yes or no, just to get with him. Caden Jones, in or out, Mike.
In.
Desmond Ricks, in or out, Mike.
In.
Hirsch.
In until I hear how the LSU visit goes. I know
Jordan
that's hedging, but
I know. Jordan Hall, Mike, in or out?
In.
Out.
Who am I missing? Fletcher, in or out, Mike?
In.
Walker. That's it, right?
Walker, Mike. Don't avoid the elephant room, Wesley.
Walker.
Why you not, bro? Why? Come on.
I said Hall. I did Hall.
Exactly. You omitted. I do to people all the time. Hey. I'm in sales, bro.
I
nobody accused Wes of being dumb. He knew what he was doing.
No, man. A lion, man. Jesus.
I forgot Walker. So that was the 5, I believe.
Yeah, we'll hit on more of that and the portal next week in our episode. We will, we probably talk a little bit about how this bowl game went. We will not probably do a raw reaction for this bowl game, guys. It's really,
Les Miller throws for 500 yards.
We'll cover it on next week's show. We'll go over it. I know nobody is really expecting a lot out of this bowl game. The average fan isn't. I know most people have already written it off as a loss. I think we could play surprisingly well.
But I'm not. I think if you're looking at a win, I don't give a shit about winning the game. I mean, I want to, but
I agree. I'd rather see how the kids perform and what we get out of the backups. Yeah.
I mean, I was also a film nerd. Like I'd go in and watch practice film every day. Like I like that. But I'm gonna look at Cameron Waits. I would like to see Wingo for better or worse.
Waits is playing guard, by the way.
Right guard. So
we forgot about him. That was something. We should have brought that up for who was playing for Osiris.
Mike talked about it.
I missed it.
Yeah, I am interested in seeing some of the young guys. Like my guy Chris McCullough. I want to see what he does if he gets more snaps. I want to see him make efforts because he's going to be counted on next year to make plays.
All I want to see is the Terminator Jack Powerburn out there wrecking people. That young man is 6'4", 265 already as a true freshman.
One person I want to see, and I'm going to butcher the name, number 22, Kalalin Jackson. I saw him pretty high on the depth
receiver.
Chart. Yes, So I want to see him. See what he has. Hey,
A lot of people think he might be gone after the game too. But hey, if he shows out, maybe they
never
convince
know,
him to
man.
stay.
I like to say this. I'm treating this game as a glorified scrimmage, and this is saying nothing. Like we lose, we lose. It is what it is. But like, if I get trolled over this, I really don't give a shit because I'm looking at certain things for next year. And I think I feel a lot of people, actually everybody should, because this has already, in my opinion, been a successful season, and I hope you guys see that in that realm as well. And also use it as a getaway from this recruiting mess.
Yeah, exactly. Just watch some Gator football, drink some beers, stay warm, and enjoy the week, man.
Hey, real quick, on that last question, Wes, this we kept talking about the potential reallocation, or what, at least what we wanted. It's hard to answer that question with the Samson fallout. So that's all.
All right, guys. It was a passionate episode, man. We covered a lot of stuff. It's going to be an interesting early signing day. We've got some plans, guys. We're going to try to maybe do some live streaming on early signing day. We're still working that out. Depends on what the fellas here are able to do in their work day and whatnot. Might just do a 20-minute little stream here and a 20-minute stream there, just to kind of update as the LOIs come in.
And let us know if you guys are interested on that. If we see
please do, guys. Drop us a comment on this video on YouTube.
See overwhelming interest, okay. But that's just like I said. It's just gonna be something, as her said, that we're playing by ear.
Absolutely. But we're gonna come up with something, because signing day, man, it's an exciting time every year. Win, lose, or draw, it's still exciting. And there's always a few good surprises, bad surprises, stuff like that.
National holiday.
All right, guys. Well, with that being said, it's gonna wrap it up, man. Before I kick it to Wes, is there anything you want to add, Mike?
Well, clock hasn't struck midnight yet, so Bateman's got us.
Jesus. I need it to strike. I need that dude to turn into a pumpkin. All right, guys. As always, man, make sure you go out there and check us out wherever you get your podcast from. We're available everywhere, anywhere you can find us. And as always, guys, keep checking out the YouTube channel. I can't ask you enough. Please go out there and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It helps us a great deal. Like every video, drop us a comment. Like Mike just said, man, if you want us to do some live streaming on YouTube on early signing day, drop us a comment and say, yeah, man, stream it. I'll watch it, because we're really interested to see if that would be something y'all are into or not. Drop us a comment on Twitter or Facebook if you're part of our Twitter or Facebook group. You can find us on Twitter at RespectOurDCN. And as always, guys, if you would like to support us as creators, check out our Patreon, Respect Our Decision. We appreciate every one of y'all so much for feeling like we're worth donating to help make this show better. So, Wes, take us home, man.
Yeah, appreciate that, Hurst. You guys, if I think we'll probably submit that tomorrow once we upload. You guys will be hearing this now, so it'll be on our Twitter and our Facebook about our pick'ems for the bowl week. Again, we are giving away a hat of your choosing, so make sure you sign up. We'll show you the hats, and you get to pick the one that you want. So we'll do that for you guys as well. Also, with the Facebook, look for that link out there. As her said, please hit the notification button and give us some comments if we do live stream. I think we have some guys on the 22nd, right, Hirsch? I can't remember. So
Paul and Ricks are on the 22nd.
Okay, so look for on our Twitter and our Facebook. Once we get the times for those guys and when they're committing, we'll put those times out there so you guys can know when and who the guys that we're targeting, what time they're committing.
Paul's committing at 2:30 on the day after Sunday. I know that one for a fact.
Okay, so we'll give you guys the targets in the days. And if any links come out, if you want us to watch, see who they might commit, we'll put that out as well. But thank you guys for the support. We are a podcast that support our troops. So if you're a veteran or know someone that's a veteran and they want to have any inquiries about getting their benefits as far as the VA, hit us up, let us know. We'll be happy to answer those questions. And again, thank you guys for your service, those who are veterans of the podcast. Did I miss anything? Did I misspoke about the hats or something? I think
No, you're good, man.
Okay.
It's all great. Nailed it. Appreciate that.
But that's
Guys,
it.
we're always trying to do stuff to get y'all involved, man. Like we said, hashtag pod of the people. That's what we are, baby.
I have nothing left. Go Gators.
Go Gators.
Go Gators, baby. See y'all next week.